Hi there. My name is Nigel. I am the lead singer and the songwriter of the indie funk Plymouth UK based band The Curve. And I'm very excited today because I have another interview. And this is an interview with my bass player and long term collaborator, John. And met him in Plymouth. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk a little bit about our history, what we do, our music, and just have some fun together. I love spending time with John, and one of the things I like and admire about John is his humility. Really, he's very self-depreciating, and I'm going to share that he was quite nervous about doing this. He wanted to watch the one I'd done with Brad first because nobody's seen these yet. Because I'm still trying to get my head together to put them out, and. He watched it, and we kind of enjoyed looking at it really. And then I thought, he's going to be quite nervous about this. And then bang, he just started doing it straight away. He just started chatting and talking, and it was really good to experience. We talk about playing with Ollie early on, and in the first iteration of our band. I think we were called Platypus UK or Platypus Down. We had Platypus. Platypus was a big thing for us. Anyway, down below on the sort of, if wherever you're watching this, hopefully, or listening to it, I'm going to put certainly on YouTube, I'm going to put a link to a YouTube video of us playing a song called Want, which I talked about in the previous podcast actually. So that was interesting. So yeah, a little acoustic version, I think in Ollie's bedroom actually, of the three of us playing acoustically. I didn't have grey hair then, which is slightly disturbing, really. But, no, not disturbing that I didn't have grey hair then. Anyway, do enjoy it. I hope you do. And I really, had a really nice time talking to John. And, do subscribe to the channel. Songs nobody asked me for. And, enjoy. I'm going to say that I'm going to turn this on and we're going to talk. And the worst that's going to happen is it's going to be terrible.
Yeah, you can't use any of it.
Exactly. And if you don't like anything, you can just swear relentlessly for 5 minutes, and then I'll have to. I just edit it out, really. So look, I'm back here, and this is John, and I'm very excited that John's here. I've been looking forward to meeting John on this, and ever since I started this, I felt there were two people. If I was going to get people on, Pav is one. He's kind of agreed that at some point he's been busy, but he's going to come and meet me on this. And the other person was John, because they're the two people that I've had the longest experience of playing music with, really.
Yeah, when did we meet?
1960. Well, I think John and I met I think it's about 10 years ago.
No, it's about it's got to be mid to late 2000s, I think.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I think so.
It was a long time ago. And we met via Vibes. So Vibes was a music shop in Plymouth. And I think you'd put a kind of one of them postcards, which people used to do back then.
Yeah, basically, I was I'd been in a band previously,
yes,
which had dissipated. People had gone, and I think I put on the poster itself. I'm a really bored bass player. You can't really, it's difficult to kind of play bass lines to songs like on your own. So I got really, really bored of just playing on my own. I needed to be in another band, and so I put out an advert up in this music shop, and I got only contacted by 3 people.
Right.
I don't know if I told you. One was a young guy who wanted to be in a Beatles tribute band.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not really interested in the Beatles.
Maybe not.
And I looked him up online, and I was like, oh no, he's seems quite brash and quite young, confident sort of guy. Oh, I was like, I'm not that.
No.
I was like, oh no, he's not quite for me. And the other guy, he wants to do like rockabilly style.
Okay.
Again, not really my sort of, I met up with him for a jam. Then I think we had a big falling out at some point about alternative medicine.
Yeah.
And
these things can happen.
Yeah, because he was a Scientologist.
Okay, right. So quite a bit different.
Very, very different. We didn't fall out about anything like that, but it was different views on on alternative medicine and vaccines and things like that.
Fair enough.
So yeah, it did. We weren't compatible on that level, I'm afraid. So yeah, and then I got a very nice email from Nigel, who didn't really want to tell me his name to start with. He just put an N.
I keep quiet on these things,
so
just in case I knew you from a previous relationship.
No, I think because I remember when I actually met you, you said, "Oh no, I didn't really want to tell you like my name is Nigel because in case you thought I was like really old, like much older." I could tell that it was like Nigel. I was like, he's going to be an older guy.
I think I remember messaging that as well too, because I my memory is that I messaged you saying, I am very old.
Yeah, you don't mind, yeah.
And you were great because you just said, no, it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Because you're probably, I mean, are you 20 years younger than me, maybe?
I'm 38.
38, you see. So yeah, more than 20 years younger than me. In fact, one gig we did, I don't know if you remember that one we did at one of my work things. Somebody was retiring and they asked us to play. And one of my colleagues who'd never met my children come up and asked me if you were my son.
Yeah, that's right.
She was being very sweet. She came up, she was an older lady, and she came up and said, oh nice, lovely to see. Is this one of your sons? And I said, not bloody likely. Not bloody likely.
Not like that.
Yeah, not like that. So to go back, so you put your ad in, I responded to it. And did we meet up, just the two of us?
No, it was
or
at
did we
a gig.
get Ollie? Oh yeah, you came to see me play, didn't you?
Yeah, because when my old band fell apart, I was still in touch with the drummer, a guy called Ollie, and he was also looking for like a project. So I pitched it to Ollie, saying, we should go and check this Nigel guy out.
Do that, yeah.
He was playing like an acoustic.
It was at Tavistock, wasn't it? Tavistock acoustic. Great place.
And because he sent me some tracks, but he said, no, this is from like my old band.
Yes.
This sort of stuff, but I'm playing this acoustically now, so come along and check us out. And I was like, yeah, and I really liked what you were playing. So then we met sort of that night, and what it is you wanted to do, what kind of music direction you wanted to go in, and then we were a trio for a little while shortly after.
Weren't we? Because Ollie joined us, and I think that shaped. Well, it obviously shaped the early development of the band because we were kind of quite acoustic then.
Yeah.
Because Ollie only played the cajon, didn't he, at early stages, or a djembe or something like that.
Yeah, I think that was more out of necessity because he didn't have the kit in his flat. He didn't have room for it. Right. So it was just kind of a case of what he had available.
Yeah, and then you would play that lovely acoustic. Well, you had your big upright double bass you were playing as well.
I did have a big upright bass for a while.
That was hard. Whenever we did gigs.
Yeah, I think again, I only at the time I had to get rid of it because I only drove a Citroen C1, so it wouldn't fit anywhere. So I'd have to. No, yeah. you taking the people carrier.
I had to bring the Picasso. We had an old Picasso that I remember. And even then, it was a struggle to get in.
Yeah, it would take up the whole thing. So getting that round to gigs, it was really, it was like a bit of like a centerpiece for the band, and it was a really nice, nice sound.
And I always played the plug-in acoustic, and we had the cajon, and so places like Tavi Acoustic, and there was one developed in Devonport, and
they loved it.
We went down well because we were acoustic, but had more of an edge than some of the acoustic things that were going on.
But it was just too impractical to lug this thing around.
But you also have an acoustic bass, don't you? A sort of plug-in acoustic bass.
That was really handy to have. But yeah, I remember I did have an electric upright bass.
You did, didn't you? One of them skinny ones.
Yeah.
Was that the one you fell on top of? Or something?
I tripped up down a curb. And snapped the scroll on the top,
didn't you? Yeah.
So written off, broken. I've still got it at home in pieces.
Probably somebody could fix it. Anybody's watching this, and you work on guitars, and you want to give John an opportunity to restore that bass. Let us know because
for cheap.
Yeah, I'm hoping now for free. I'm thinking by now this is going to be such a storming podcast that people are just going to be offering us stuff. Really, I've been trying to get Yamaha interested, Gretsch, to say, look, come and buy something for us. Give something to me, really. But so I think there was an evolution through that though, which I think has been healthy for us to make us something. I mean, we're not different, but something slightly different. So we sort of started in that place of we called ourselves acoustic indie because my background and roots was in indie music, but and then slowly you were such a great funk bass player to me. I love that side of what you do, and you like getting all those rhythms going, and I felt more and more that needed to come into the songs. And then slowly we got more and more. I mean, when Ollie left, and we had Mike come and join us, who was like this is a dog barking at the garden. Ollie was Mike was much more of a kit drummer.
Yeah.
I think slowly the acoustic bit slowly began to sort of move away. Just looking at the dog's gone now. And I think we dropped that from the name as well. And then we started to sort of talk about this indie funk as this idea of being this sort of merging of two styles.
Yeah, it's weird because like I've always sort of played fairly funky kind of bass lines. Even though it's not really the music I tend to listen to. Usually sort of like heavy metal and rock and things like that, but I never really tend to play heavy metal or anything like that. My first band was like a folk rock band.
Yes.
And my wife was playing electric viola in the band, so it was a bit like the Levelers, as it were. And then also later on down the line, I got kind of roped into playing bass for a Polish heavy metal.
Roped into, you loved
it. It was good fun, but again, it wasn't something that I normally play. I like heavy metal, but I don't play it. I don't normally listen to funk, but I like playing it. So
I get that. I get
that. We did one gig, and then we got banned.
The Polish guys.
Guys. Yeah, we got banned from the pub because the guitarist got so drunk.
Right.
He caused a few problems, and of course that got round to all the other venues. So I said, "Oh, can we, looking for gigs?" And I was like, "Oh, are you in the Polish heavy metal band?" Like, yeah. He was like, "Nope." Okay. So then, we never got any gigs, and that went on for months. And then COVID came along, and that disbanded. And that was.
'Cause you were doing that when we were playing, weren't you? And it felt like a nice outlet for you and something different. And I think the other flavour for you, I guess, for me, we move more and more to that funk end. I'm writing songs these days. I'm much more interested in that end than I am the sort of indie end, and I like the edge of that, because it's always got the guitar bass, so it's always there. But it's the sort of funk stuff is what I really like doing with you, especially with you, and then some of your bass lines. Well, we all love your bass lines. I was kind of thinking about that idea of original music, and some of this podcast is about original music, and not as I say, I never want to diss people that do covers, but they're just different types of people. There are people that like to do this one thing and people that like to do another thing, and some people like to do both. But you've kind of got that history of playing in original music stuff, and I wondered what you felt about it, really, and not what I feel about it, but what do you feel about doing original music, and what interests you in it?
Well, I like the kind of you're the songwriter. So what I like is that you come to us with like the skeleton of a song, and then you go get on with it.
Right.
Come up with something. What me and you tend to do is me and you will get together away from the other guys in the band, like today, and so that we can kind of work on some new songs, and then pitch to the other guys. I think one of the reasons for that as well, that it makes it easier for me to learn, because I'm a very sort of bare bones bass player. I don't know the name of the notes. I don't have any effects or pedals. I don't know. I'm not very technical. I don't know the technicalities of anything. It's just sort of I play by ear. So to come away, learn the songs and the chord progressions and the notes, and then we can pitch that to the rest of the band. I do like that process, and I like that it is a bit of a, not so much of like a free for all, but we do have a lot of freedom to come up with our own thing, providing that it gels with what other people are doing.
Of course, yeah.
I've never been in a covers band. Again, I think that's partly because, like I said, I'm not very technical. I don't consider myself like a professional I'm not a professional bass player. I don't have a professional equipment. I don't understand chord progressions, or I don't know the notes. And I think that would be a case of learning how to like read music and things like that if you were to be in a covers band.
Or at least you'd need to be able to recreate a sound, wouldn't you? Or a sort of,
and I wouldn't know how to do that.
I guess the only exception we have to that was Graham's wife ran a sort of women's choir. Do you remember? And a couple of times she asked us whether we would be the backing band for them for just 3 or 4 tracks, which I kind of as a one-off quite enjoyed. We did it sort of twice, I think.
Yeah, about 2 or 3 times.
2 or 3 times. Yeah. The one thing I really remember, because it sums me up as a guitarist, I said on one of these podcasts that, I'm not a lead guitarist. And that if there was one of those big bands, like with Prince and Eric Clapton and all these amazing guitarists, even if I was super famous, you'd see me at the back strumming away on my guitar. But they did a version of Don't Stop Me Now. Do you remember? Don't Stop Me Now. And I thought, I've got to do that lead, And I spent ages working out a simplified version, and I kind of could do it. We practiced, and I could do it. And then we did the gig. I just completely arsed it up.
Yeah.
And I lost the whole thing. And the worst thing of it was, everyone went, oh, never mind. And they did a flipping encore at the end. I did that track again.
Oh, they wanted to do it
again. And I thought, a chance to redeem myself. And I messed up again.
Yeah, it was.
And I thought, and this is why I never play lead guitar live.
Yeah, it was a bit cringe at the time, wasn't it? It was like...
The other track I remember, and I don't remember the track, which I had to play through the entire thing, was... Dee 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 doo 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 doo.
Oh.
Which was fine.
And the best of my love.
Something like that, yeah. Which I love the track.
Yeah.
And this is another thing about covers, I guess. It's like one of the things Brad was saying, because we were watching. You wanted to see Brad's video before we did this, so you get an idea. Get an idea of what we're doing here.
Yeah.
And he was saying you can get bored. I get bored, so I've got to work something out. And I think, right, that's all I can do as a guitarist. So when we're working on songs, we're working on a couple of new ones at the moment. I might want to drop stuff out, or I might want to bring stuff in, or I want to add something. But you can't do anything like that because you're there, and I've got to play that do all the way through the song, and it's not for me really.
Because I remember we did. It was also for the choir. I don't know the name of the song, and I went away and learnt it from watching YouTube videos and just listening and picking out the notes. And then we come to actually practice it with the choir. I'd learnt it from the original.
Yeah.
I learned it from the original, which was, in a completely different key than what the choir were singing, because they had all got given the music and the notes, and it was in a completely different key. And then they said, but basically on the night, can you play it in a different key? I don't know the notes, so I had to. I had a bit of a mini meltdown.
You did. You had a bit of a
hissy fit with my toys out the pram.
Yeah, I remember.
And we had to basically spend the next 10 minutes transcribing.
Off in a back room, just trying to work out how to play it. I remember. Yeah. But you did it. And this, let's face it, you are the person in the band who most underestimates their skills, and that's fun. That's a quality of yours. It is a quality of yours, which I admire. I like that. But we played a gig, you and I, a while back in Cornwall, one I didn't enjoy very much. I've talked about that on the podcast here, but you were amazing because we all know that I start songs in the wrong key sometimes because I use a capo, and actually I played an entire song in the wrong key. And you barely told me. I think there was like the first verse. You looked at me, and you were going, "This is the wrong key," and I was too embarrassed by then to stop.
It'd gone too far.
And you just played the whole song in a different key. I was so impressed. I couldn't have done that. But that was so. It's around. Look, I'm aware of the time, and I kind of with these, I try and keep them about 20 minutes long. But the one thing I thought that just to finish on is just how I feel we've evolved into this little space at the moment of you will often bring like bass lines, like riffs, funks, things. And I've often said that I haven't done a full one on this yet, but in songwriting, there are two different elements to that. One is that people like what you're doing. You can often bring little bits, but the actual art of writing a song is how you construct it all together, bring it in. But I've often wanted to bring your bass lines into songs. And I'm excited that the 2 songs we worked on today are both from riffs that you've brought.
Yeah, because we've talked before that I tend to come up with riffs and like bass hooks, but I can't write like songs.
Yeah, it's a structure, isn't it? And
Yeah.
it's
So I think for a while it was a case of, okay, we'll learn that, but if you come up with something else, we'll add to it. It was like, I can't I can't do that. So
but I'm hoping it's a sort of remotivation for you, or even something more to sort of think, wow, we're bringing what you're doing that's new into the song.
Well, I think that's what it was, because we talked about what do you want to do with this? I was like, well, I don't want a full song. I want. Can we incorporate this into something else? And I think that once we kind of got over that hump, it's like, now I know what it is that you want to do.
So I've been trying, because we've tried it once before, and it didn't. Because I remember you had a bass line, and I thought, oh yeah, I'll write a song around this. And then we had this great song. Was it "How to Save the Day"? I think maybe I couldn't think which song it was. It's a song we still do.
I can't remember.
Anyway, I mean, John had said, he'd got this bass line. I said, oh yeah, I will do this with the song. And I wrote the song, and then we worked on the song. We all worked on the song. And at some point, you said to me, I really like the song, but I've had to completely change my bass line.
That was Run Rabbit.
Run Rabbit.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have this song, and it's great, but it's not actually the bass line. And I was so disappointed, because I was thinking, oh no, it's a hard skill. So for me, I like it because it's a challenge. But taking something that you might have and say, right, how am I going to incorporate this into a song? Is my latest challenge. I'm enjoying it, and I think there's only one song I've ever said to you, I want you to play this, which I think was this time. I said, I'll play this, and you'll never let me forget it. But it's kind of like, so just to play this, and I've got to play this.
No, honestly, I don't mind, because there are some songs. There are some songs that what I'm playing might be quite a bit more involved, a bit more complicated. Where there are other songs, I'm happy just to play.
Well, you need the both
notes.
anyway, don't you?
Yeah.
It's kind of. I always enjoy watching you play "Grains of Sand," that song at the end, which we've never recorded, but because it's about the hardest song anyone could play on the bass guitar, because it's the same thing. It's very fast, and it's all the way through the song.
It's I was playing a note every beat.
Yeah.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's every.
Yeah. So I love it. So sometimes when I'm winding you up, I like to not start singing.
Yeah,
the song
you don't.
For a
yeah,
while,
in the end, I'm playing, and then I have to look up and go, "Can you sing? Can you start the song?"
Much longer. Yeah. Okay. Well, look, thanks for chatting to me, and it may well be that we can chat again sometime. I'd like to hear more about your bands that you were in before, because I know they were quite out there as well in different ways. And but there we are. Thanks for being here, and I'll speak to you again.
No problems. I'm not on any social media, so I won't see any of this.
No, well, I'll send it to you.
Okay, cool.
I'll send it to you, and it's going on YouTube, so I think you can look at YouTube. Mainly, it's going to be YouTube, and I'm looking at trying to set podcasts up on Spotify to do it. And from this, you can tell I still haven't put any of these out yet. I've got about 9 maybe now. I wanted to because I want to bring one out every week. And the thing is, so 9 is about just over 2 months worth, isn't it? Because sometimes I get on a run of these and I do a few, but there are weeks when I don't do them. And so I thought if I got a few ahead of myself. And then also I'm slightly bottling out at the moment. But at some point I've got to do it. Right. See you soon, John.
#MusicTheCurve.
That's the one.